That and movies. On a plane, I'll be like, I'll watch Transformers 4, which I wouldn't watch on land. But in the sky, I'll do it.
Are we rolling?
In air or sea? I'll do it on the sea as well.
What do you call it? International waters, you know?
Well, we're joined by Alison, Brie. We're very excited to have you here.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here. What do you think about my mic placement?
That looks pretty good.
Solid.
A little closer.
Easy, Matt.
Bring it in.
There you go.
And we have Steph guest bartending here today.
Hey,
Thanks for joining us, Steph.
All right, Steph.
Best hair in Bed-Stuy.
And you guys have a Google search of me up for me to look at?
Just in case.
During a passionate scene from your new movie, Somebody I Used to Know, now streaming on Amazon. Check it out.
You got that right.
Directed by your husband.
That's right. And co-written by he and I.
That's cool.
Yeah. Is that awkward?
Him and me. It was awkward. No.
Wow.
It was great.
I couldn't write anything with my wife. She would just be like, that line you have sucks.
Really?
Yeah, I like my line. That line you did
You run
sucks.
Bits by her, though, now?
Yeah, I run bits by her, but we couldn't write a movie. That would be tough.
It's tough to work with someone you date. That can't be easy.
Well, that's why we're married.
Yeah, it's true.
That's the only reason we got married, because we were like, we got to work together.
Yeah. But I think it helped. My wife is also a comic, so that it helps and it hurts. You know?
Sure.
Some places you're like, this is great. We can talk comedy. You understand the lingo, but then also you're like, I could have gotten that gig.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know if Dave and I are ever competing for roles.
Mm.
But I'm not going to take it totally off the table. There could have been.
Yeah, could he have
Could have
played?
been.
It was Jay Ellis, who's, by the way, a fucking hot dude.
Jay Ellis is
kitten.
That's a hot
very
man.
attractive.
I was lost in his eyes.
Me
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was there any point where you were writing it where Dave was like, I could play this guy? And then you're like, he's got to be black.
Yeah, I was like, I would prefer Jay Ellis. There really never was, because I think, Dave's directorial debut was The Rental. It's a horror movie. And I got to act in that, which was awesome. And I feel like he realized on that, he didn't act in it, and it was the saving grace. It was like when you're directing, you just want to be fully focused on that one thing and not have to be thinking about your performance, and it slows everything down, having to watch playback and do all of that stuff. And I just think that worked so well that going into this, that was the genetic makeup of it from the start, is like, oh, now let's write something together and now recreate that same, way of working with him directing and me acting.
But
so he wasn't going to play the role now.
Jay is so much hotter.
Whoa. I didn't say hotter. I did not say hotter.
I mean, Dave's
I
no
said
slouch.
attractive, period.
Yeah, but
Did you
he's
meet
taller.
Dave on a movie or no?
No, Dave and I met at Mardi Gras in New
What?
Orleans.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
My hometown.
Really?
Yeah.
I love New Orleans.
Hell of a town. And Mardi Gras, my favorite holiday.
I love Mardi Gras. I used to go all the time with my community crew.
Oh, yeah.
Went down there with Danny and Donald and Ken and Joe Russo. That was the first trip. And then we went down the next year with Joe and a couple of my girlfriends. And one of my friends knew Dave. We ran into him at the airport, actually, on the way there. He was just heading back. He was shooting a movie there, heading back from like a weekend home. And she invited him to dinner with us. And he came to dinner. And then she did a little setup. So we're at dinner. Dave gets to dinner late. He's got a whole other side of the story where he actually said he couldn't come to dinner because he had plans. All his plans got canceled when we landed in the city for some reason. So by the time he gets to dinner, we're all drunk, and he sits next to my friend Jules, and I'm across the table, and I get a text from her, and it's like, you should hook up with Dave.
Whoa.
And I was like, yep. Yes, please.
I would
I'm
say yes to
in.
that.
I was super single. I was hooking up.
And
I
it's
was like,
NOLA. You get crazy at
like,
NOLA.
what else am I going to do this weekend?
It's like flights. There's no rules in New Orleans.
Exactly.
Vegas, New Orleans, Nashville. There's certain cities where you're like,
Wuhan.
I'll take your word for it. So I text back enthusiastically. Meanwhile, across the table, she shows the exchange to Dave. She's like, points at me. That's the gal. Like, what do you think? And he's like, I'm in.
damn.
Wow.
She's like, don't tell her that I showed you this text exchange. 10 minutes later, she and I get up to go to the bathroom. She's like, maybe you and Dave. And I'm like, I mean, I'm into it. I don't know if he would be interested. And she's like, he's interested. I showed him your text under the table. Don't tell him that I told you that I showed him. So we left the restaurant. We both had a sexy secret, knew that the other person was like on board.
Yeah.
at the next location, I kind of like sidled up to him at the bar with a beer, and I was like, there's Molly in this beer.
Oh.
I think we should split the beer and have a great night together. What do you say?
Holy shit.
Jeez.
And he said, yeah.
Wow,
What
this
is-
should
what
be the
is
movie.
What is
This is amazing.
but with a black guy. But what do you think about, is Molly, what is that like?
you never
It's
done Molly?
great.
No, I've never
What?
done it.
Hold on.
Well, speaking of drinks, can we get some of these drinks
Steph,
over
come
here?
on.
Oh, yeah.
What? And we're
You
doing
heard
mimosas.
Molly and you had to take the edge off.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
We're
Gracias.
doing mimosas to get our
Here.
vitamin C in because we're classy ladies.
And you're doing a press tour, so you have to stay healthy.
I'm trying to stay healthy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey, Mazel.
Cheers.
12 years sober down the drain. Mmm.
I'm glad I could be the one to break that cycle.
I am
for
on the
you.
road with a sober guy, and it annoys me. He's my opener's sober, and it annoys me, and because it just bugs me. I have
He has
two
like
other
too
people.
pure of a lifestyle.
Yeah.
I bring a tour
He's got
manager.
his life on track too much.
He's married. He's got 2 kids, but it still bugs me. And I have a tour manager will drink with me, and I have James who films who
Oh,
drinks
yeah.
with me.
Yeah.
But I want Gary to drink with me, and I asked him like, "You've been sober for how long?" And he's like, "It's like a year." And I said, if you had one sip, it'd be all down the drain, though. So I kind of want to trick him into drinking one night.
Oh my
Easy,
God. I
But
don't
if he takes
condone
one sip,
it.
if he takes one sip, he's back in the game.
That's true, and he's a little guy, so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's a lightweight.
You're just slipping into his sparkling, a little vodka into his
Just
sparkling
half an ounce.
water.
The sobriety's done. That's not Cosby bad.
I don't condone it.
This is how Matt Lauer started. I'm just gonna get a button, just a button. You know.
So that's a great story, though. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a great 48 hours, let me tell you.
Wow,
Man.
that's
And
a
that
hot
was 11
start.
years ago.
Wow.
Wow.
Been
So,
together ever
ladies, you should
since.
hook up the first night because you
Yes.
never know.
That's my motto.
Yeah.
And it
Molly.
worked out.
There you go. See that? Don't you find sometimes that because that text message and the hookup and the flirting and the knowing it's going to happen is almost hotter than the actual intercourse.
Yeah, it's like you don't want there to be too much buildup. I say you want to kind of go in for the kill right away and see if it's going to work out.
Yeah.
I agree with you. The consent is hotter than the sex.
Yes.
I just want to know it's
exactly.
possible.
Right. Because
Yeah.
In.
I'll disappoint you later. But
like
that
ultimately,
moment, I'm
yeah,
still good.
I'm tired and I want to go to
Yes.
bed. But
Right.
like you're in. Oh, great.
Literally.
Is he doing the press tour too, or is it
He's
just you?
doing it. He's doing it too. We're sort
Cool.
of dividing and conquering.
Nice.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart. Two fronts.
Yeah.
I've been rewatching Community just randomly, so it's weird that you hit us. You know that your people hit us up, and we're like, "Oh, I've just been watching it on the road. I need a light road show."
Yeah.
perfect.
That's a good one.
Such good writing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It holds up. I have recently I recently rewatched some of it because I love to watch my own work. No, it went up on Netflix during COVID, and I just rewatched a bunch of it, and I loved it.
It's great. It's full of jokes. It's a great cast.
It's very edgy too, you know.
Yeah.
I think like a lot of the writing was towing that line for a network comedy
For sure.
of like getting in some good jabs. I don't
And
know.
It might have been the last kind of edgy, jokey, punchy comedy on network.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, even like Atlanta is now FX.
No, it's FX. That's a different
That's
type
a
of
really
show.
different type
yeah.
of show.
Yeah, that's true.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Great show.
artful
Great show.
But it was
Yeah.
like The Office and 30 Rock and Arrested Development and Community. And
we
then
were in that block. We were
Yeah.
in that block of
Wow.
30 Rock. It was The Office, 30 Rock, Parks and Rec, and then Us. That was like the
Jesus.
dream 3 years or however
Wow.
long that block was going. It was like, whoa, this is awesome.
Yeah.
But
But even The Office, I feel like had like new life on Netflix.
True.
Totally.
True. Number one show, I
yeah,
think.
all the Gen Zs are like, what is this show?
Yeah.
I'm discovering it.
They're
Look what I
making-
found.
You guys got to try Taxi. You got to try like a real old show.
You guys heard of Seinfeld? It's
Right.
this really cool show.
People probably discovered
Oh, for
Seinfeld.
sure.
I
it's
mean,
crazy.
I'm honestly, Dave and I have been watching an episode of Seinfeld every night before we go to bed just to get it back in our system, and it's so
It's
great.
the best. It's
the best.
incredible. And you see all these other shows now doing a lot of their storylines.
Totally. Well, it's so funny having not watched Seinfeld in a long, long time, and I don't think I ever even saw all the episodes because you didn't have a Netflix or
Right.
somewhere, right? You would just catch them whenever they were on. But I've probably seen all of Curb Your Enthusiasm. which is obviously amazing.
Another
And of
great
course, Larry David. So then you go back and watch Seinfeld and you see a lot of the storylines.
I know.
You're like, oh, the person who says Happy New Year for too long. Like a lot of those little jokes.
Yes, the best.
Come back around, and I love it.
It's called Jewish comedy.
Yeah.
Larry, I was watching a Curb yesterday, the accidental text on purpose on my flight back. And you're hungover. You're like, thank God for Curb, because the selection on Delta is not that great right now.
Not great.
Oh, interesting.
And it must be fun for Gen Z to go back and be like, whoa, a gay joke? What is this? Sorcery. Holy hell. But The
Yeah.
Office was chock full of dark stuff.
Yeah. Some of it's like, now it's all the game of like, did this age well? Like, where are we?
You know what? It's a dangerous game to play because it's comedy. If it worked, it worked.
Yeah.
You know,
I
and that's
agree.
how you view
Yeah,
it.
I
You view it
agree.
through the time cap. So when you start analyzing that stuff, you go nuts.
Right.
Definitely. And I don't even really I can't have perspective on it because it's stuff that I loved and watched always.
Totally.
Right? Sometimes it's
Yeah.
even hard for me to be like, oh, okay, I guess I understand why
Yeah.
people are finding that offensive now. You know,
Yeah.
but sometimes I don't
It
know.
is funny
But I
when you
don't.
watch. It is funny when you watch. I was really hungover a couple weeks ago on a flight, and I was like, let me just watch like something light. And
I'm seeing a pattern here with the hangovers.
yeah.
we have a drinking podcast.
Yeah, I'm
What do you
not
expect?
judging.
But
Doing research. It's
Yeah.
called research.
yeah. But I put on that movie Just Friends, and I'm like, I feel like 8 of the punchlines are just "you're gay."
Oh my
for
God.
sure.
Every joke
I mean,
was just like "you're gay."
That's half of
Yeah.
Apatow, too. Yeah. That's why his movies are so long. You got to get enough of those gay jokes.
We got to edit in 20 minutes of unedited.
We're going to add him in post.
Yeah.
I love that movie, Just Friends. Did you notice? Well, clearly you've maybe not watched our movie yet, but Julie
No,
Haggerty.
we
did
watched it.
Oh, Julie
Yeah.
Haggerty, who plays the mom,
Is the
plays
mom in
my
yours?
mom.
Yeah, she's
Be
great.
yourself. Be yourself. I love her.
You
Yeah,
have all
she's
these
great.
great comedy cameos in this. There's, Amy Sedaris is in
Yeah.
this.
Hero.
And Sam Richardson.
Yeah.
Are these? Did you reach out to them, or they?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we just called in a lot of favors, especially for those parts. Sedaris and I worked together on BoJack Horseman for years, but we never met in person because she lives here in New York and we did that
Wow.
show in
Damn,
LA.
that's crazy.
But were
And
you
it's a
reading?
voiceover show.
But you were reading back and forth.
We did. We always would do table reads together. It was funny because it was like the one animated show that I've worked on where they made such a point to do table reads with all of the actors
Oh,
there.
that's great.
Except Amy Sedaris, who would call into this like speakerphone that was in the center of the table. And she was so funny. They would always ask us to do read all the other characters that they maybe hadn't cast yet. And sometimes we would also voice some of those side characters. And Sedaris would just do all these different voices.
Wow.
But on a slight delay because she was on
Yeah.
a conference call. Anyway, she's so funny and she was so game to do the movie, which was so nice considering we had never met in person. And she came in, half the scene is improvised by her. You know, she
wow.
had a different button every time she goes to leave the room. I got to go get my tubes untied. Every time she left, it was a different joke.
Wow.
It was gold.
You know you're funny when you're killing on speaker.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause that's a tough sell for comedy.
Yeah.
Strangers with Candy also was like the funniest show.
So
Love that
good.
show.
That
Grew
was-
up on that. That was when Comedy Central was really chugging along and had
And weird when it
yes,
was weird.
Kids
and
in
they
the
were
Hall,
Just,
all that
yeah.
weird
That was like
stuff.
pre-Colbert.
Yeah,
Principal
right.
Blackman. That's just a character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
South Park.
South Park.
All that stuff
yeah.
was fun.
Great,
Those were fun
great show.
times. You
What was
kids are
that
missing
animated show that was like,
out. Drawn together?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Was
Maybe
it
the
one with
episodes
Kurt
were
Metzger?
short, like 15-minute episodes. This is a great story. Let's just wait until we figure it
Well,
out.
BoJack's a great show to be on too. That's an awesome. That's
was
an awesome.
Great show.
That was a great show.
That was, I mean, so many jokes per minute on BoJack, and then still they managed to make it really dark and deep, and it was like exploring themes of depression,
Yeah.
and
Really
sexual
dark.
harassment,
Addiction.
and all of this addiction.
That's a show I can't. It's like I respect the hell out of that show, but it's like a show where it hits me like Barry, where I'm like, I can't watch this shit before bed.
This is not your I'm hungover, I'm just
No.
gonna blow through some
no,
episodes show.
no hope for life.
Right.
But I loved watching BoJack because also the table reads were so funny, and then I'd watch the episode and they would sneak jokes just into the animation, plays on
Right.
animals in the background,
Visual
like,
gag.
Yes, there
Yeah.
was so much going on. It was a
Yeah.
great one.
Great show. That's the thing you can do with animation. Animation can go so. Family Guy says stuff where I'm like, holy moly, how did my power not go out when that joke came on?
Totally.
But it's animation.
Yeah, you can get away with a lot.
Yeah. Maybe we should
That's
do a
what we
cartoon.
like, getting away with things.
Yeah. I just farted. No one caught it.
I caught it. I wasn't going to say anything.
Damn. By the way,
I tasted it.
Oh no!
By the way, Amy Sedaris, underrated hot lady. I don't know if we're allowed to say that.
You know what? I'm glad you said that, actually, because I was going to say what I love about her comedy, and especially like Strangers with Candy, she loves making herself unattractive.
Yeah.
Yes.
And doing roles that are so quirky, but she's super hot.
Super hot.
Yeah.
Sexy, fun, cool.
I admire that. She has like a great wig closet.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, maybe I'll do, even doing this movie, she was like, I don't know, you guys, should I have fake teeth? We were like, no, we just want you to look like you.
Yeah.
But like everything, she always wants to amp it up.
Right. You're like, it's a
I
cartoon,
love
Amy.
it. I
Relax.
respect it.
Yeah.
No, she is great.
Oh, yeah.
And she killing Letterman. She was so good.
She
always.
is so funny. Her Instagram is great too.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta check that out.
She posts funny clips and stuff. And then I saw a spread in New York Magazine of her at her apartment, and her apartment's crazy.
Her apartment's kooky because she
Kooky.
collects stuff and does arts and crafts and all sorts
Yeah.
of things, I think.
Yeah, she's like,
I've
here's
never
my
been.
room full of old sewing machines. And you're like, what the hell?
Amazing.
It's just kooky. There it is. Look at that.
Oh.
Fun.
Nice bookshelf though.
All right, that just looks kind of normal, but I
like
swear
a
to
color
God,
coordinated bookshelf. Ooh.
Look at that chandelier.
I
Look
mean,
how cute she
you
is.
couldn't date her because there's no room. There's too many knickknacks.
That's true.
Look at that! Wow.
You have to slide some things over in the bed.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I haven't seen a TV yet.
Classy.
Look at that!
That is
My
nice.
God, that is wild.
Ooh, beautiful.
I like a couch like that, spaced out. Look at that.
Somewhere Wes Anderson just came.
So the first place I ever saw you was Mad Men.
Oh yeah.
We talk about Mad Men a lot on this podcast.
Oh, good.
It's just a great show
It's a
and
great show.
great drinking show.
It
Makes me want to drink. I mean, it's
Yes.
like when you read Hemingway or Bukowski or something, and you're like, I should drink in the afternoon. You know,
It really is glamorizing drinking, smoking,
Yeah.
demeaning
Misogyny.
women. Yeah.
I should get a
The
secretary.
heyday. Yeah.
Those were the days. No blacks. No, joking.
Just went silent.
Yeah, that's my comedy.
Couldn't give a supportive chuckle even.
I know.
It
Don't-
really
don't want
was
that clip going around.
I mean, it really was a perfect show, and it was just the way that they would drink. I feel like Don Draper made old fashions cool.
Ooh, just even the way he would hold it. Like
Yeah.
he didn't even care if it slipped from his hand and broke on the floor. It's a
Right.
delicate touch
Yeah, oh yeah.
to that hold.
Not
that
a
a-
hair out of place. So.
Was that a fun character to play?
Yeah, Trudy Campbell, great. I mean, the show had such great writing. There was so much nuance to all the scenes, and that was a really early job for me. I think I had done just like a couple other, I did a B horror movie, and which there's a lot to say about that. It was called Born. I played a young gal who gets impregnated with her demon brother's like demon spawn fetus.
Mardi Gras.
Totally.
Yeah.
It was like I was at Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
And then the fetus possesses her and also kills. There's like a lot of great set piece scenes like where I have sex with a guy and the demon fetus like bites off his dick and he dies.
Whoa! Pull it up.
Or where
This is great PR for abortions.
I do support them.
Yeah, same.
We do.
There's
I
a
for
scene
sure.
where
One yesterday.
I make out with my I'm just powering through.
All
over
right,
here. I'm
all
just
right.
powering through. I make out with my roommate who she's like a phone sex operator.
Wow.
And then the demon, she kisses down my body to my pregnant belly, and the demon fetus punches through the center of my pregnant stomach, rips her tongue out of her head.
Whoa!
She dies,
This
and then I
sounds
take
great.
her head off and I eat her organs. It's awesome.
Holy
Look, that's
moly.
me. Guys, my first job.
Wow. Mad Men, different vibe.
It was slightly different, although I'm pretty sure the demon fetus eating the dick scene is what got me the role on Mad Men.
Yeah, it's a fun reel.
Are you because you play a lot of characters like that where you're not like quite Trudy Campbell level.
The type A kind
waspy,
of,
a little.
yeah. But there's a little uptightness,
Yeah.
sure, to a lot of the characters I play. I feel like we're sort of playing with that in this movie.
Yeah.
And like the way my character is at the start of the movie is how everyone thinks that I am based on the roles that I play. And the way the character is at the end of the movie is more like how I really am.
Yeah.
Right.
A little looser, a little more chill.
Yeah, but
Oh, and yeah, you talk about in the movie. There's a part where I don't want to give too much away, but there's a part where one of the characters says, "You're not going to best friends wedding me." So that was like, I'm guessing that's a movie you like. I'm guessing
I
that's,
love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Great movie.
Definitely, we pay a lot of homage to My Best Friend's Wedding in the movie, and we just wanted to be upfront about it. But we were kind of channeling all of those movies that we love from the 80s and 90s. When Harry Met Sally, Sleepless in Seattle. When Harry Met Sally is a real go-to airplane movie for me.
Oh, Nora
We were talking about
Ephron.
that.
We love her.
So
I just
good.
actually watched it recently on an airplane.
It's a great
Yeah, it's
airplane
great.
movie. My other favorite airplane movie, The Departed.
Me too. That's so
I
weird.
love watching that on a plane.
Interesting.
Anytime Alec Baldwin pops on screen in
Oh,
that movie,
it's great.
or Wahlberg, so many funny
Wahlberg's
lines.
great.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
the whole opening, and then it cuts into that song.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember seeing that with my dad, and he couldn't tell Leonardo DiCaprio and Matt Damon apart.
Ah, racist.
So
It was
you're
like a
really-
confusing
you're really-
movie for him. He thought it was like Inception for him.
Right. It's too many Irish people.
That's another good plane movie. I don't mind Inception on a plane, the way
Yeah.
Matt Nolan intended.
Yeah.
Chris.
Oh, sorry, Chris. Matt
Come on.
Nolan. Oh, Matt Nolan is a friend of Dave's from college that we name check in the movie. Matt Nolan. We put a lot of our friends' names. We just named every random character like one of our friends' names
That's
in
right.
the movie. So that's really fun.
That's fun for them.
Shout
They get
out to
see
Matt
that.
Nolan.
Yeah, Matt. Great director.
Yeah. One of my favorite directors of all time. Can't wait for Oppenheimer.
I do want to see that.
Oh, yeah, me
That
too.
looks awesome.
Guys, in all
Yeah.
seriousness, Chris
Yeah.
Nolan. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
And
What are we doing
Oppenheimer.
here?
My
Are
dad
you-
read that book and never shuts up about it.
Yeah, that's like a real
Oh.
dad book.
Real dad.
Any
book. It's this
any
thick.
dad book, it's like, have you read LBJ, the 6-part
Yeah.
series? I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
Read Robert Moses, The Power Broker. All right, let me pick it up. 2,000 pages.
I know.
Jesus Christ.
It's
That's
this
the
thick.
kind of book where I'm like, I'll see the movie. Can't wait to
Yes.
see the movie.
Yeah, I'll Wikipedia.
Yeah. Can we get a doc?
Right.
A doc makes it easy.
Love
Is there a
a doc.
podcast based
Yeah.
on that book I could listen to in my car?
Yeah.
I am listening to this podcast called Founders. Got to give a shout. It's amazing because it just goes,
Oh.
Coco Chanel, how she made it, Andrew Carnegie, whatever.
Ooh.
And the amount of bad parenting that leads to success
Yeah.
is
Oh,
really a
sure.
through line.
Yeah, well, you have good parents.
Ah. No, they're good eggs.
I've met your parents. They're
Yeah.
good people.
Nice people, very
Yeah.
nice. But
Yeah.
the molestings,
Yeah.
I'm still hurt. But
Seems like they worked out for you.
yeah, that's true.
They knew what they were
Could have
doing.
gotten an unwrinkled shirt. But yeah, nice people.
Good people.
But yeah, I'm sure Oppenheimer was diddled. Is my point.
Yeah. No, do you look at like Howard?
I'm just going to sit with that.
The silence is this
think he's
one.
dead.
We'll have a
I
good
think it's okay.
silence breakdown of this.
How dare you?
Oprah, Tyler Perry. I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah, a lot of bad childhoods.
Oh yeah,
Anytime you see a biopic, you're like, "Fuck, man."
I know.
Why is that so?
Yeah.
Why is that always?
I just
the
watched the
case?
Pamela one.
Oh,
in there.
Oh, I haven't watched that yet.
That's
I
a
gotta
diddle.
watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could tell it was going to be dark, and that's why it's before
know.
bed. I can't do the before
It's
bed
heavy.
dark.
It's
yeah.
heavy.
I've been going light.
Yeah, she's having a nice little resurgence, which is nice.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. I'm excited to see that.
It's
Yeah.
fun.
I'll watch
It's-
it for sure.
It's well done.
Are you is rom-com like your top genre for film?
This is going to sound crazy, but it's rom-com and horror, I think, are right at the top for Dave and I both. And it's like, he has always liked rom-coms, but I feel like more and more I've brought him around on the rom-com side, and he is like a horror fiend and has brought me around. And I mean, when I was a teenager, I loved horror movies, and some of my favorite all-time films are horror thrillers like The Shining,
Sure.
Rosemary's Baby. I was about to say Sleepless in Seattle. It's like, I mean, you know,
It is a horror to some
woman
guys.
hears the guy on the radio, stalks him, hires a private eye, like watches him outside his house. Silence of the Lambs, great.
Oh, one of the best.
It was on TV. This is why I love cable, by the way, because
Yeah.
I stopped having cable for years, and I was like, let me just get cable again.
Oh,
and,
It's like
yeah.
the radio.
I'm
'cause
into
you
cable.
never
my
know what's
brother's
gonna come
over, and I
on.
was like, let's watch the last 3 scenes of Silence of the Lambs.
Mm.
Great 3 scenes.
The other day I'm flipping channels, Terminator 2 comes
Oh,
on.
I love that.
I was just like, well, like, I'm going to settle in.
Yeah,
Now I know what I'm
yeah.
doing this afternoon.
There's a couple where you have to leave it on, like
Gotta leave it on.
Shawshank,
Yep.
Casino.
Yep.
You know,
Casino is like a 3-hour violent
Casino
music video.
and Goodfellas
Great.
are both on that list.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, they're doing the oneer through the restaurant.
Right.
I gotta hang out.
My ex was younger than me,
The
so I
water.
had to. I remember we saw The Irishman. She just had never seen
Robert De Niro act in a movie. She's like, is that the guy from Dirty
She
Grandpa?
saw The Intern. Yeah, I mean, no, but
Intern.
she'd never seen Goodfellas or Casino, so we said that she also just wasn't a big film person. Her dad was super strict growing up.
Sounds great.
Well, it didn't work out. But the point
He's a
is,
shut-in.
she saw that first, and then you go back and you watch Goodfellas, and then you watch Casino, and she was like, all these movies are the same.
Boo.
Not true. But that was a takeaway.
I mean, I hear where she's coming
There's
from, and then I
similarities.
feel for her that she started with Irishman because then it took away from her
Agreed.
experience on the other two.
In Casino, he's a Jew.
far
That's
better.
different.
That's true.
That's really different.
That's
What a
something else.
stretch.
Yeah.
Well, the stretch was an Irishman when he tried to kick that guy. Remember
I
that
know.
scene? Ooh,
That was rough.
bad. The Jussie Smollett tape was more realistic than that with the aging.
They couldn't get. You can't get a
The
younger
aging
actor.
thing was weird.
Yeah.
It was not. They were talking about how much money it cost, and I was like, well, it didn't work.
I know.
Maybe you should spend a little more. Even.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess people want that star power, you know? You want the De Niro name on the poster.
yeah, I don't want to see some young actor playing young De Niro. That's bullshit.
Yes.
Although,
There's a lot of
you know
young-
who could have done it really well?
Shia LaBeouf?
The guy who went to prison. The kid, he played his kid in Bronx Tale.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
He went to. He was on
Pull
The
him up.
Sopranos too. You know what I'm talking. You know.
I know who you're talking about.
He
Very
plays
Italian
his son
looking.
in Bronx Tale. He kind of looks a little De Niro.
That's him.
He looks De Niro-y.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But he's maybe even too old.
Lilo
Wait,
Brancato. What did he go to jail for?
I think he killed someone.
He's Colombian.
Wait,
Oh,
real
shit.
jail?
Yeah,
Oh, jeez.
But like, what did they do? You know what I mean?
it's a good question.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
What was
that
he
a
wearing?
joke.
I loved
Again,
it.
now you guys did the silence on me, and it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good.
But wait, he's not Italian? Isn't that
Attempting to break into a home. It sounds accidental.
Oh, I thought he
Yeah.
killed someone. I feel.
Well, yeah, he did, but it was
Well, it's self-defense.
accidental.
You know, it's like when LL Cool J beat that guy up for breaking into his house.
We don't need to.
Imagine
Bring
breaking
LL
into
into
someone's
this.
house
Well,
and
I
it's
thought it was
LL
cool.
Cool J.
Oh,
That's gotta
broken
suck.
into LL's
yeah,
house.
and he beat him up.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was awesome.
Yeah, that must suck when you're just like, I'm gonna get my ass kicked by a famous dude.
I know. I should have broken
This
into Woody
stinks.
Allen's house. I could have taken him. Yeah, LL's from Queens.
Wow.
Yeah.
You don't want to mess with ladies love Cool James.
Oh yeah, he's an attractive fellow.
He
Isn't
is a
he?
hot guy.
Wow.
The
Sure,
lip
if you
licking.
rap shirtless,
Oh
you
my
gotta
God.
look.
One time years ago, probably 20 years ago, I was so young and it was still like where you could be late for a flight and like run through the airport and make it
yeah.
on your flight.
Those were the days.
Ran onto the plane. I was like the last person to get on, like catch my breath, look. And the first person I see sitting in first class is LL Cool J. And you know how sometimes when you see famous people, you think it's just a person you know because you're so familiar with their face.
Yeah.
And I just was like, hey, oh my God, good to see you. And it was just a deadpan straight face. Didn't say a word. It took me a beat. And then I was like, I said, Ella, so sorry. So sorry, Ella. Excuse me.
He's like, did I bang her in 88? What is that?
I did that to Catherine Keener once on a flight.
Really?
Yeah. I
Oh,
opened the
good
door.
one.
I opened the door and she was right there, and I go, "I love you," and she was like, "Ah!" I was like, "Sorry."
She's
But
great.
then, after
Oh,
she
she's
after
so
she
good,
shrieked, she
though.
said thanks.
Oh, okay.
good.
I got a thanks after the shriek.
I got like a get to your seat so we can take off kind of face.
Yeah.
It didn't work out well
Yeah.
for me and Ella.
Saw Warren Beatty and Annette Bening on a flight once.
Whoa.
Yeah, and they
Oh
were
my God.
bickering.
That's a good one.
Like a married bicker, and it was fun to watch.
That's cool.
That's an
little
on-set
inside
meeting, right?
scoop.
Bugsy, isn't that where they
Is that
met?
right?
I think so.
Is that true?
I think
Annette
so.
Bening stars in my all-time favorite movie and all-time favorite rom-com,
What is that?
The American President.
Mm.
It's her. It's Michael Douglas. It's written by Aaron Sorkin.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's directed by Rob Reiner.
Wow.
It's so good. Michael J. Fox, excellent in it. Okay, Martin Sheen not playing the president. This is like
Wow.
an Aaron Sorkin, Martin Sheen pre The West Wing, where he's playing the right
never
hand
seen
man
it.
to
I've
Michael
seen
Douglas's
this.
president. You've never seen it? They do
No.
that dance. She's in a beautiful strapless blue dress.
She's a hot
Iconic.
lady.
Oh,
She is
yeah.
I remember
so
seeing The
beautiful.
Grifters. With my mom, and
Full frontal.
Full frontal. I didn't get to see him. I had to rewatch it after she
Yeah.
went
Is
to
it because
bed.
did your parents, when I was a kid, they would just go, they'd go stand in front
Yeah.
of the TV, their bodies. Like they wanted to watch the nudity, but we couldn't see it. They'd block the TV, and then they'd come sit down, and then we would watch like 8 guys get their faces shot off.
I know.
Like the standard was weird.
Yeah,
It
that's
was like don't
hilarious.
see somebody's butt. You might see somebody's butt while they're making out, but now you're gonna watch this person's throat get slit. Like
Yeah.
So true.
Grifters is dark.
HBO in the 90s.
Yeah.
I would say the same with Survivor. You know, they're like climbing up a rope and you can see like butt cheek getting blurred, but then they'll eat, dick from a bull or something, or like
Yeah.
Fear Factor. It's weird that we're allowed to watch this horrific guy puking up his guts, but like his
Yeah.
underboob, that'll ruin you.
Either way, though, you're numb. I mean, you just at a certain point, I think you should let the kids watch the tits because that way they'll be numb to it and it won't mean anything.
Well,
Yes.
nudity. It's like, why are we so afraid of the human body?
You're not. I mean,
I am not,
I was
sir.
not expecting that.
Thank you.
That was
I
at
love
a-
a little non-sexual nudity
Yeah.
in something.
Sure.
I love to watch it, and I like to participate in it.
Here,
yeah.
here.
No. Cheers.
Otherwise,
cheers.
To an unexpected bush.
It's a fake bush, I hate to tell you.
Oh,
What, a
really?
merkin?
It's a merkin.
Oh!
Guys, when I was working on Glow, I lasered off so much of my pubic hair because we wore these really high-cut leotards. Is this the kind of content you're used
Yes.
to here?
Actually, yes, we do like this.
Stephanie's pants.
So now I
right now.
have to wear a merkin because there are laws about like not showing labia on screen. We didn't want the movie to be rated NC-17.
Sure.
Wow.
So I wear my little merkin. I've worn that same merkin in a couple films now. It's reusable. Maybe, I
Hey.
think 2 and we're out. I don't know if I can do more than 2 movies with the same merkin, which, in case people don't know, it's a pubic wig.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Merkin the
get
Magnificent.
your groomer to groom it.
Do you have a little pick?
Yeah, I get my little pick out, a little hairspray.
Yeah. Dave's like, your Merkin's in the sink again.
Yeah.
Never realized how much Sorkin sounds like Merkin until we just said Aaron Sorkin.
Aaron Merkin.
Merkin.
I can hear it.
Yeah.
Sorkin,
Alright.
man, he's a beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of great stuff.
Excellent.
There was a big president. Remember Kevin Kline was in a president movie.
Dave.
Dave.
I don't
I
remember
love
that
that's
one
another
either.
great
Great
plane
movie.
by the way.
Yeah.
If I see
What does
Dave,
plane movie mean? It's slightly worse.
No, it actually to me doesn't. It feels like it's kind of a comfort sweet spot. Like The
Okay,
Departed
that's-
is a great
I
film.
love The Departed.
I'm honestly listing most of my favorite movies, but
Yeah.
Dave is the kind of movie
That's
that I
it.
could watch again and again. Oh yeah, Sigourney Weaver as the first lady.
Yeah, the '90s. We
It's so
still
good.
liked politics.
Ivan Reitman, you guys.
Oh.
It's true, but
Legend.
now you go back and watch all these movies, The American President, this, even The West Wing.
Yeah.
It's like an amazing fantasy show.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
yes.
know, of a better world.
We talked about Air Force One last week or the week before, where you're like, that was when you rooted for the president.
Yeah,
Totally.
That was like, you can't make a movie where Biden's just fucking up terrorists.
yeah.
You'd be like, whatever, dude. I mean,
I would watch it.
you'd watch
I
for
would
about
watch
2
it.
We have a
minutes
bit of an
until he got
Irishman
killed.
situation,
Yeah.
I think, in the action scenes.
That's true.
Like,
That's true.
Oh, I want to see the one where
Woody
Hunter is
lands
taken
that
down.
punch.
Give us your laptop. Fuck you, terrorists.
Yeah, that's fun. Ian McKellen is Joe Biden.
I want to see Kamala kicking ass. That would be a good movie.
In her Timberlands.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Stomping.
just
Stomping
Joe.
Never
ass.
seen Dave. He also,
I love Dave. So he plays a president impersonator, and then the president has like a heart attack while having an affair with Laura Linney.
whoa.
Whoa.
A great crucial cameo in the movie. And while he's under, like, the powers that be are like, we'll bring in this lookalike so that we can control the government. But in the meantime, he like falls in love with the president's wife, played by Sigourney Weaver, and he does a lot of good for the country.
Wow, there you go.
So there you go.
Kevin Kline.
Man,
solid actor.
You're like an info button on a
Oh,
remote.
I really-
That was amazing.
Anything that was on HBO in the 90s, like I have a real encyclopedic
What are
memory
the other
about
ones?
it.
What are other top Alison Brie?
I think about like Defending Your Life.
Oh,
with
great. Albert Brooks.
I
Albert
can't believe I haven't
Brooks,
seen
Meryl
that.
What?
Streep.
I know.
I think
You've
it's his
never
best
seen
movie.
it?
No.
You hate it?
No, I've never seen it. I
It's
love Albert
incredible.
Brooks.
Never
Yeah, I got to
seen
see
it.
it.
It's so high concept and creative. It's
I know that
great.
it's one of
high
my friend's
concept, but
favorites.
it's very grounded considering like when you tell
Yeah.
people the premise, which is
97.
when you
come on.
die, you go to this place. It's like limbo. It's like a holding port before you would go to heaven or wherever, or go back to Earth, right? And you have to go through like a trial where they show clips from your life, and you have like an attorney, and they decide whether you'll go on to heaven or if you have to go back to Earth and do it again.
Yeah.
And these two fall in love. But it's like Albert Brooks, of course, was like a really shitty person. So all the clips from his life are like of him like falling off a roof or like, they're just all doing like not the best of things.
Right.
And Meryl Streep is like saving her kids from a burning building and stuff like that. It's very sweet.
Great movie. Really.
It's a great movie.
I've heard a lot about it.
Rip Torn plays his
love Rip
attorney.
Torn.
And
Yes.
he's really funny.
Oh, yeah. Man, I got to rewatch it. He had what was that one about the road trip in the RV? Oh, I think it's like
Is it
touring
about
America.
Schmidt?
No,
Oh.
something about America, on the road in America.
yeah.
It's
What's it
incredible. It's just so many great jokes. I think he was like a ad man, and he hates, having a cubicle and being in an office. And he said, "I'm going to travel the world."
We love to quote Rip Torn.
Larry Sanders
from the Larry Sanders
Ah,
show.
The best.
He gives a great read of a tough titty. That is like my favorite Rip Torn quote.
Yeah, he's incredible.
One of my favorite Rip Torn quotes from that show is when Larry Sanders finds out that Alec Baldwin fucked his ex-wife, and he's on the show, and he's like, I can't interview him. I just having these images of him fucking my wife, and the worst part is she's on top. And Rip Torn goes, lazy bastard. Just that he's got his back no matter what. I love that.
That is a perfect show.
Perfect
That's a great
show.
rewatch.
I've rewatched it probably 5 times.
Every episode, and the people who pass through are incredible
Yeah.
also.
Hey now.
Stiller, Garofalo,
Oh, yeah.
Dana
Bodenkirk.
Carvey, yeah.
Odenkirk,
John Stewart. Yeah. That's
Chappelle.
Some are playing
Yep.
themselves, and some are just playing like office
Right,
writers and
right.
interns.
Sharon Stone.
Yeah, Jay
Yeah.
Moore.
I wonder who wrote that episode, by the way. I get to bang Sharon
Here's
Stone.
what's gonna happen. Yeah.
That show needs a pickup. I feel like it's not
Yeah.
on
So
the
good.
network.
Oh, you mean just to put those episodes? I thought you meant like a reboot, and I was like,
no.
no, we're
Well.
missing a pivotal element.
Yeah, good point. I don't
but
think you
yeah,
can
that should
recreate
be
it.
on.
But
Well, it's probably got to be on HBO Max, right? Wouldn't
It
you be able
is.
to watch
is
it on
it?
HBO?
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
it's
I didn't know
if they
that.
removed it, holy shit. No,
I just saw it on
Holy
YouTube. I rewatched it on
shit.
YouTube because I'm such a fan.
No, it's on HBO.
Okay, all right.
HBO Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
HBO Max.
I'm Alison Brie for HBO Max. We've got the Larry Sanders Show, all episodes of Sex and the City, including the 2 movies.
Are you a big
It's one of
Sex and the City
I'm
person?
a huge Sex and the
The
City.
original show was incredible. I didn't love the later.
The movies went awry, and the reboot. I don't want to look. I love them.
Yeah.
I'll watch it all. I watched all the reboot. I'm in here. I'm down for the season.
I watched
2.
it. I'm married.
But it's not quite the same. I still love to go back and watch the
Oh.
old original episodes, which talk about aging. They don't all age well, but what I find amazing about
I
it
think
is
all the
like,
women look beautiful.
Oh, okay. How dare. That's not what I meant.
Even
Sure.
Kim Cattrall, who wasn't in the last season.
But the jokes, that show in one monologue will have like the cringiest line that like doesn't
Yeah.
update well, and it will be followed by like a really prescient, you know what I mean? There's like an
Yeah.
episode where Carrie dates a bisexual.
Whoa!
And the whole episode is like, oh my God, I mean, he's bisexual. And I said I was okay with it. And her friends being like, why? You're not okay with it. And it's like, there's lines like that. But then she'll do some monologue that's like, what even is gender? Like, won't there come a point where we don't even need gender at all? And you're like, wow, Sex and the
Wow.
City ahead of your time.
Yeah, but
And then 5 minutes later, she's like, oh my God, they want me to kiss a girl. Like, what am I going to do?
That was a pretty good carry right there.
Thanks.
That
I
was
was
good.
half-assing it. I could do a better
That was
impression.
pretty good.
That's pretty
But I
good.
won't. As I like to tease you. I love
it.
that show. Nothing but love for that show.
Great show.
No, it's a
Ton of
great
jokes.
show. I remember seeing Kristen Davis in a coffee shop. I was in 7th grade, and I watched the show because I was like, oh my God, this is like New York. It's like shocking. And I remember I was with my basketball team. We just see her in a diner, and I was like, I've seen your show a bunch. And she goes, you're too young to watch. I said, oh yeah, then how come I know your husband can't get hard? And, yeah, and I got
line.
everyone in the
Good
diner, big
Trey
laugh in the diner, and
reference.
she goes, all right,
Wow.
I respect that.
Wow. How was the
Wow.
sex?
I proved myself.
Yeah.
What a little rapscallion
Yeah.
you were.
Yeah, dude. Fucking, I told it right to her.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty
And then the
Just-
waiter came up and said, your credit card declined.
They said, "Sir, it's 18 or older in here.
Yeah.
You have to go home to your mommy."
What are some other Alison Brie recs, like top movies, shows, like stuff? I mean, I love that you love Larry Sanders. 'Cause
Wow.
That's,
I
we
love
quote
Larry
it constantly.
Sanders. I love the show Dave on FX. Do you guys
Oh,
ever watch that show?
yeah. Our friend is on that
Yeah,
show.
Santino's on the.
Andrew
Oh
Santino,
yeah,
the
he's
ginger.
great. Yes, he was in a movie I was in, The Disaster Artist, that my husband Dave was in as well.
It was
But
great. Yeah.
Hello,
Yeah.
Mark.
yeah, great story, Mark. The guy who shoots Dave, the cinematographer, shot our movie.
Oh.
He's tying it back
looked great.
around.
Yeah.
See her movie. It's on
I don't
Prime.
know.
Somebody that I used to know on Amazon Prime right now.
That's right. On Friday. It goes up on Friday.
Well, no, it'll be out. But
Oh, out
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
It's out right now. Watch it now. What else do I love?
Are you watching Last of Us?
Yes, we are. Oh, I love
Is
it,
it
but we're
good?
behind. Don't spoil
Okay.
it. We've been traveling, so we've only watched the first couple episodes. But
Have you seen 3?
no.
Oh, it's breaking the internet. Are you watching this?
I haven't.
All right, I won't
I mean,
say
I did
anything.
read that people had a problem with the landscape
Wow.
or something.
A couple
the
people,
terrain.
but the praise is more than the hate.
Oh, good. Okay, good,
Yeah.
good. I'm loving it. Love that. Obviously, we loved White Lotus.
Sure. You got to watch these shows if you're single. I mean, that's all you can talk about on dates.
I know.
know.
I get that.
What
Our
are you watching?
favorites. I mean,
I went on a date the other night, and a woman
yeah.
took out 4 vape pens on the table.
No,
woman took it and she-
4.
4.
Like, was she sharing? Like,
Yeah,
here's
she
an
was like, "Try
option.
these." It was like a white trash wine tasting. It was kind of fun.
Oh,
This
yeah.
honestly sounds like a great date.
It was
Wait,
kind of fun.
were they like weed vape pens?
No.
Oh, never mind.
No, it
Yeah.
was like menthol, lemon,
this is weird.
banana. I was like, "I'll just try it."
I don't
when
like
you're drunk,
it as
they're kind of
much,
fun.
but it is actually, yeah, that's kind of fun. It's very sharing spit. Did you guys
That's
make
true.
out after? It was like the preamble.
No, I went for it, and I got cheek. And here's the fucked up part.
Cheek.
Cheek after sharing vape? You
It gets
got
worse.
cheek?
She put
It
her
gets
ass
worse.
in your face?
She was.
I got cheek and a little bit of butthole.
That's a vape.
But yeah, a lot like a vape, eating bud.
Yeah.
Sober, disgusting, but after a few drinks,
Yeah.
not so bad.
Doesn't
Smells-
taste so bad.
Can't do it on a plane.
So it wasn't like the wet hot American summer piece of gum that means like as soon as it
Oh,
touches your
yeah.
mouth, you're gonna just make out.
No,
That's
you know,
hot.
you know what? This is the weirdest part. She kept telling me that I felt like she was fucking with me because the whole time she was like, "I don't respect men that don't like just go for it." That was it went like
That's
a
a tough
monologue
one
about
these
Just
that.
days.
dead eye contact, like
And I
locked
was
in.
like,
Just
uh-huh.
I don't respect men that don't just go for
I
it.
put my consent forms in my pocket.
Then
I
you
was like, "All
leaned in
right."
for a kiss, and she fully cheeked you.
Cheeked me,
You went for it.
but then
That is
said,
a
"Let's
mixed
do it again
message.
Monday." I was like, "What? Get blue balled? What the fuck?"
yeah.
I didn't say that. I
Are
said
you gonna
it
do
was
it?
lovely.
You said
Nah.
absolutely.
No.
That's the worst vape flavor, Blue Ball. Damn, that's tough.
It was weird.
But now you're probably going to see her again.
Nah.
All right.
Whoa.
Did she have
No.
a vape holster?
It wasn't like an amazing date to
Whoa.
begin with.
There were
Okay.
other problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 4.
Jeez, when did this turn into my therapy session? I'm
Yeah.
All
sorry.
right,
guys.
well, I didn't know you were a vape
How did you feel like
apologist.
she wasn't, meeting your needs in an emotional way?
I'm
or-
never home anyway, so it's like it doesn't make sense to. I'm home like 2
Definitely.
days a week, and then when I'm home, I'm just like, the date is a risk. When you're home 2 nights a week and you go on a date one of those nights,
And if it's bad.
if it's a bad date, you're like, I just lost half the
whole
week.
night,
Good point.
yeah.
At home.
You lost 8 hours.
I can tell that you're not really in the space. That you're not open to it fully.
I'm open to
You're
it.
Not in the
Don't listen to
headspace.
Alison Brie. I'm open to it.
when you meet the girl that you like, then it'll be
Maybe.
worth it. You'll
Yeah,
be like,
that's right.
yeah, I want to make that time.
I think that's true.
yeah.
This makes me sound more attainable, so I think unattainable rather. So
There
I
you
like
go.
Yeah.
This is good.
He's so busy, but like if you're the right one,
I just don't have any time.
Are you addicted to vaping now?
I'm addicted, dude.
Well, you smoke cigarettes.
No, I don't.
You
Come
do?
on.
When I'm drunk, I do sometimes.
I mean, me too.
No, not really. I'll
Who
have like
doesn't
2.
smoke when they're drunk or when they're in Paris?
Exactly.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Good point. Or on a plane. You know.
Totally in the bathroom.
yeah. Quick one.
Hey, folks, it's hard to keep up with a supplement routine that comes with a bunch of different products. I hate it. Just start with one, AG1 by Athletic Greens. It's the morning jumpstart you need. Just scoop, shake, and have alongside your morning coffee. I'm hooked. I drink it every day. I know you're hooked.
Dude, I got extra and I take it on the road.
Yes.
This stuff's keeping me from getting sick on the road.
Same. It's tons of vitamins. I throw a bunch of packets in my suitcase. 75 vitamins and minerals and a major boost to your gut, mood, energy, skin, hair, and nails. AG1 gives you increased energy and mood support, making it easy to live your best life. If you're looking for an easier way to take supplements, Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 travel packs with your first purchase. Woo! Go to athleticgreens, one word, .com/drunk. That's athleticgreens.com/drunk. Check it out. Woo-wee! Bad habits can follow us through life. Fume is on a mission to help you break those bad habits. Fume isn't a vape, so it's not filled with the harmful chemicals that come along with them. Fume is a natural diffusive device that uses plants like cinnamon and peppermint to help you trade out your negative habit for a positive one. Love Fume. Gotta get on it. I hit that puppy at the house every now and then after a long day. The flavors are great. They got all kinds of fun stuff. Fume's new version, version 2, has an adjustable airflow dial and a magnetic end cap. You always have something to do with those busy hands. Uh-oh. The easiest way to stop a bad habit is to switch to a positive one. Fume is designed perfectly to do just that. It's Fume's goal to make switching easy and even enjoyable. They have thousands of 5-star reviews from people just like you who've successfully switched when other solutions just didn't work. Head to tryfume.com and use code DRUNK to save 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. The Journey Pack comes with 3 unique flavors and the new version 2 Fume to help kickstart your positive habits. That's tryfum.com and use code DRUNK to save an additional 10% off your first order today.
You can't afford to waste a day stuck on the couch because of a few drinks the night before. Z-Biotics is the answer we've all been looking for. Z-Biotics pre-alcoholic probiotic is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. Look at this stuff. This is the stuff right here.
That's the real deal.
This is good stuff. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle through rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Z-Biotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. It's designed to work like your liver, but in your gut, where you need it most. Drink Z-Biotics before drinking alcohol, drink responsibly, and get a good night's sleep to feel your best tomorrow. Give Z-Biotics a try for yourself. Try it tonight. Go to zbiotics.com/drunk to get 15% off your first order when you use DRUNK at checkout. Z-Biotics is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee, so if you're unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember to head to zbiotics.com/drunk and use the code DRUNK at checkout for 15% off. Thank you, Z-Biotics, for sponsoring this episode. I've tried this stuff. It really does work. It's good stuff. My buddy Sammy Compliment turned me on to this and gave it to me, and they ain't cheap, but they work. And how much is your day worth to you?
Good point.
And with this promo code, a little less. So
Hear, hear. I was actually at a restaurant in Tribeca with my lady, and a woman came up to me and goes, "You do that drunk podcast. You got to try Z." And I was like, "All right, beat it, yo, kook." And look, here we are. So there you go. When my cat's healthy, they're happy, and that makes me happy. I got a big old fat Maine Coon, and that thing shits like a rhino. So you got to have your pretty litter. All right. Thank God Neil's not here. But I don't always know when they're healthy. Pretty Litter changes colors to help detect early signs of potential illness in my cat, including urinary tract infections and kidney issues. I really use this stuff. I swear to God, I'm going to get a handy later when I pull up with this big bag of litter, because my lady loves this stuff. We tried all these different ones. This is the one. Your cat's annoyed. Your cat's anti-Semitic. The colors change. It's great. Pretty Litter Super Light Crystals base also minimizes mess and dust. Plus, the crystals last up to a month, which means less scooping and fewer trips to the garbage can. Pretty Litter ships free to my door in a small, lightweight bag. I never run out of it. And I don't have a container of litter taking up space and stinking up the joint. Pretty Litter helps keep my cat healthy and keeps odors down. You and your cat are going to love Pretty Litter as much as we do. Go to prettylitter.com/drunk to save 20% off your first order. That's prettylitter.com/drunk to save 20%. prettylitter.com/drunk. This is the best litter.
You seem
Now.
risky. I mean, you're nude in movies. That's
right.
risky.
Yeah.
Well, that's based on my life too, because I used to love to streak in college.
What?
And
Really?
in my adult life, and last week at the hotel before the
We
premiere.
met you at the wrong time. I feel like.
I know. What the
I'm
hell?
still streaking
Oh,
plenty.
okay.
All right.
Now it's on camera. You can enjoy it anytime
true.
on
Pull it up.
Amazon Prime.
No. Wow, you streaked in college. That's exciting.
Well, I went to an art school, Cal Arts, and clothing was optional everywhere, but the cafeteria. So
What?
nudity was very much encouraged and supported
Whoa.
for art.
Yeah.
That
I
is
will say
crazy.
it's not like kids were going to class naked all the time.
Sure.
But there were naked kids in every class.
No.
Oh, okay.
But there was at all of like the school functions that is a really small school and there's kind of one main building, and at all of the functions that took place in the main building there was always the naked guy who came in shoes and a necklace. He came and he also attended the party.
Wow. That was the principal.
So there was that guy. Mostly people were naked at the pool, and it wouldn't be uncommon to see people, it was an art school, and I think they just wanted everybody to have that artistic freedom. It was not uncommon to see, like, between classes, you'd walk past somebody doing some art installation where they're nude and, like, painting their body in chocolate or body paint.
Right.
So I like to run around and streak, and I thought it was funny. Made my friends laugh. Also, we had like a very risque Halloween party.
Oh, I bet.
Where people would go naked in body paint, or like my freshman year, I was a sheriff, so I wore a cowboy hat, cowboy boots, little like frilly underwear, and some sheriff stars taped to my nipples.
All
a
right.
complete costume.
We got to go back to vaping. This is too distracting.
Tried
We're
to
blushing.
channel that
Yeah.
in the movie. Sorry, guys. It's the mimosa.
I have a sheriff fetish. So you really hit the
Oh, I
nerve.
didn't even realize.
Yeah. You play an Eric Clapton song, I'll get hard.
It's really just Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
I did have a mustache too, so
I'm into that.
it was natural.
I love Greek women.
Mustache.
But I was Woody for Halloween one year. The Toy Story.
Oh, cool.
Not the erection.
We did
Yes.
that one year.
Oh yeah, that's
That
right.
was us.
And you were Buzz?
I think I was Woody.
Oh,
and
you were
Buzz.
Woody. Yeah.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
we know what it's like to
Great
dress up
story.
as. I was trying to
We
relate
showed
to
some
the
balls.
cowboy. Yeah.
Cool story, Mark.
Dude, you're getting negged by Alison Brie. What the hell?
Well,
All right, guys. Other movies we like.
I like this. yeah.
Tarantino. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I always rewatch. Now that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is on cable a lot, I've
great.
been watching that.
that's another one in the rotation.
Every
Leave it
couple
on.
years, I like to go back through the full Tarantino catalog
Oh, yeah.
and just watch them all in order. Excellent.
I
Yeah.
still love Hateful Eight. I know it gets a lot
That's
of
the one I haven't
bad
seen,
love,
yeah.
but
You've never seen
No,
it?
maybe I'll watch it tonight.
it's
Actually,
long, but it's good.
It's long. I saw it in the theater, and they did like a full, like a real intermission where music played, and we all went and like got a snack, and that helped. Like,
yeah.
I think I liked it much more because we actually all got to like go pee, refresh our popcorn and candy, and then come back for the back half.
I think a pee break is necessary. Some of these movies.
Well, these days, these 3-hour movies go up on Netflix. I'm like, who's watching this straight through?
Oh my god! At home,
I'm watching
Come
it
on.
over the course of multiple nights.
Do you still go to
Totally.
the movie theater?
Yes.
Good.
I
All
love
right.
to.
I do
Yeah.
too.
But I don't have a problem with movies going straight to streaming. Case in
Amazon
point,
Prime.
somebody I used to know.
Well, I
streaming
feel
on
like
Amazon Prime
comedies
right
don't
now.
hit in the theaters anymore.
Well, it's a shame. Yeah, at the box office, I guess they don't, and it's a bummer because comedy and horror, not to bring it back to my two favorite genres, are the best to see with an audience, right?
Exactly.
And
Of
if people like
course.
Dave and I have been traveling around and watching this movie in some theaters, and it's so fun to hear everybody laugh, and even during like the serious moments, right? To hear people give like a like a oh no, is really fun. And horror movies, we just saw, maybe the last horror movie I saw in the theater was Barbarian.
Oh, that was
Is that
so
wild.
good.
So good.
That was so fun to see in the theater because it just makes it more fun. It honestly makes it, I think, slightly less scary.
Yes.
Because you're along for the ride with the whole audience of like, you're not like watching it at home, like, Barbarian's gonna get me.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Barbarian's coming out of the closet.
Right. And I watched that with a big group. And when have you seen it?
No.
I don't want to give too much away, but when her jugs came out, everybody was like,
jugs.
"What?" It was like a collective, huh?
Where would you rank like her jugs compared to my jugs?
This is good.
Well,
If we're doing like a jug off.
I would say hers are a little more longer.
Sure.
Yeah,
Hers are
yeah.
longer. Okay, good.
But-
Good review of mine.
Yeah, you're
Not so long.
You're doing great. Yeah.
I have no basis for comparison, but I thought they looked excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah, great
Thanks, you
can.
guys.
Yeah.
Sal, if I wasn't gay,
Yeah.
you know.
Thank you.
The movie theater is so I don't go enough, and I gotta get back into it.
Yeah.
'Cause I do love it still.
It is really fun. It's fun. I love seeing movies in the
It's
theater.
great.
I just saw the Banshees of Inisherin with my mom in the theater, and that was like a good theater watch because there's like a lot of discomfort. I like it's a good one to see. It's a funny movie. I mean, it's dark as hell, but
It is, and it's beautifully shot, which is why it's
Yeah.
fun to see on a big screen.
Yeah.
I once saw the movie Unfaithful starring Diane
Oh,
Lane
that's
and
a
Richard
hot one.
Gere.
I've seen it a bunch of times. Selected parts only.
The first time that is a hot movie.
Yeah.
The
Oh
first
my
time I
God.
saw it,
What's that guy's name? The hot Hispanic guy? Sorry. Keep going.
what is his name?
He
I know
is
it.
something else.
He's so good. Olivier Martinez.
Oh, yeah.
He may be French.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
He's got
Maybe
got
both.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
The first time I saw that in the theater,
Ooh-wee.
I saw it in the theater with my dad.
Oh, no.
So I couldn't fully enjoy it. And I don't know
Oof.
how that happened.
Were you sitting on his lap, too? Jesus Christ. That's brutal.
Right, it wasn't my birth dad. It was like my daddy. My zaddy.
Jeez, yeah.
We did full penetration during the movie. It was great.
That was a hot movie.
That
hot.
movie is so hot. When he fucks her on the stairwell.
I know.
Am I allowed to say
Yeah,
the
of course.
F word?
It's encouraged.
When
Oh, in
he
the
fucks her on the
bathroom?
stairwell. Oh, the bathroom is great. But the stairwell is my favorite one because he pulls down her jeans just enough.
Right.
Not too low. That ass is popping.
Oh, it was Merkin level.
Yeah.
It was
Just under the
perfect.
merkin.
Pull it up.
I mean, but I like it because of the performances, the grounded performances, and
Yeah.
the character arcs.
I saw Species in the theater with my mom.
What?
Which
There
was
you
brutal.
go. Now we can relate.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
all. You've seen that?
Oh yeah,
It's
but
all
not
banging.
in a long time.
It's a silly movie. Michael Madsen, Natasha Henstridge.
Yeah,
But it's just
it's a lot of full frontal because she's just like, check out the specimen.
yes, exactly. It was.
I
it was
made my
brutal.
mom see Exit Wounds with me, and I feel horrible
Oh,
about
I've never
that one.
seen
I don't know
that.
that.
What
It's
is that?
It's Steven Seagal and DMX. It's one of the worst. And let me just say, DMX
I like
blows.
your mom for being open to that.
He
Yeah.
blows them off. He blows Seagal off the screen. DMX had some
Oh,
acting
that I
chops.
believe. Oh yeah.
It's such a bad movie that it's good.
Oh,
It's one
Right.
of those like over the top pieces of shit.
Sure.
Wow. The
I was-
crazy thing, I saw Brown Bunny in the theater with my mom. Just kidding.
We watched Two Girls, One Cup on a family reunion.
Yeah.
Oh wow, Brown Bunny. That's a good pull. Gallo.
Thank you. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Chloe Sevigny.
Oh yeah, she's fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Great.
Her and Natasha Natasha
Natasha
Lyonne.
Lyonne.
Yeah, I put them in the same kind of fun,
Oh,
weird
definitely.
blonde gal.
They've worked together a lot. I feel like they're close friends too. And they're also like early aughts icons.
yes.
You know? Yeah.
Remember Slums of Beverly Hills?
So good.
Nude, full boobs.
Oh good.
Leon.
Boobs and Bush.
No, but I don't think there was a bush.
Okay.
Just saying.
That was
Well,
what
now
you did
you
as a
know.
kid. You would
Yeah.
just try to find which ones had.
Yeah, it was pre-internet porn.
I mean, Wild
Yeah.
Things was big. That
Oh
was a
wow. I mean.
come on.
big. That was shocking.
Come on.
And then Kevin Bacon's was that his real dong at the end?
I believe
hope so.
because it was not perfect, so I think they wouldn't have a
You
fake.
didn't think it was perfect?
I didn't think
Well, it was like
I've
him.
seen
It
a lot
wasn't
of dogs.
perfect, but I'll be damned if it doesn't get the job done.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm on board.
Yeah.
I'd high five him.
Yeah.
Solid
High five
dong.
that dong.
I mean,
Just
Yeah.
give that dong a
It's
little
no Jason Segel.
tap.
Now that's a dong.
I
He is a
mean,
good dong.
Great, pull
He
it
likes
up.
to flaunt it. He likes to
He
flaunt it.
really does. Yeah. He's a
There's
fan.
a lot of confidence there.
Yeah, you can't write yourself into a dick scene. That's pretty weird.
Yeah.
It's
and
confident.
It's
Chris
confident.
Evans too. I feel like that was leaked. That
Oh,
feels
I don't
too
know
perfect.
that. I'm not
What?
familiar with the.
Oh, he's got a beautiful,
Pull it
beautiful
up.
hanger.
Oh wow, Jason
You
Segel.
could have done a sit-up there, Siegel. You know, I know you're happy
He
with
was
your dog.
focusing on the wrong thing.
Yeah. But hey, he's doing great. He's sober.
That movie is that's a great rom-com.
Great
Sarah
rom-com.
Marshall. Yeah, that one's so good, so funny.
So
Yeah.
funny. What year was that? Because that was kind of
It's like 07 or so, 06
Yeah.
maybe.
Oh wow.
2013 is when things kind of stopped being
Comedy,
fun.
it bums me out that comedies don't do well like they used to. I mean, I feel like a lot of those people who would pay to see comedy movies are now just like, I'll go see stand-up or I'll go see something else.
everybody.
Which, thank God for that.
That's great.
But at the
Yeah.
same
But everybody
time,
wants to watch comedy at home.
Yes.
And then it's cyclical because it's like then the studios don't want to put as much money into the comedies.
Right.
So all the comedies become more indie comedies, which is great, but that's why then they get sold to streamers. It's like the cycle just
point.
keeps going
but,
on.
but I do miss a big comedy like The Hangover, or
Something About Mary.
Bridesmaids.
well, but the
or-
reason
yeah.
they were big is right because they had those budgets
Yes.
to them, and they could really like blow shit up and make them look big and expensive.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, you're right. But they've had to go independent. But
Yeah.
I see shit on TikTok where I'm like, this is funnier than anything I've seen in a movie theater
I
in 10
honestly
years.
think that's why. It's
Yes.
TikTok and YouTube, and people can watch funny and people's attention spans. They're like, I'm laughing so hard watching this 2-minute video,
Right.
30-second, 15-second video that they don't want to go see it, but it's a bummer.
It's a bummer.
Comedy movies, man.
We were
I grew
watching.
up on
We were
that.
watching something about Mary on the tour bus, and we
man.
were like, and we were howling.
It's
One
amazing.
Of we pick movies where we're like, oh, you haven't seen this movie. My friend James has never seen something about Mary.
Crazy.
So we watch it, and watching
Wow.
him howl at the scene where he's just beating the shit out of the dog.
Oh my god,
that was insane.
It's so
Like,
good
to go that big and
Yeah.
to just fucking nail it.
The commitment. Talk about also saggy boobies.
Yes.
Like, there's a great binocular
Yeah.
mislead where he thinks he's going to see, switches to the heavier binoculars as Cameron Diaz is changing
Yeah.
his shirt, but he comes up on the neighbor.
Yes. Yeah. Magda.
Great. Magda.
Yeah.
That's great.
Gross
Fairly
out with heart
Brothers.
is
yeah.
a good recipe for a big comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Matt Dillon stole that for me.
Oh my God, the teeth alone.
We watched the extended version because my friend, I had it on DVD, but I couldn't find it. So he downloaded it illegally, and it was an extended cut.
What's in the extended version?
Everything they should have cut. It was weird.
Oh wow! Like you were
because-
like, I do not
Do they show
appreciate
the
having this
zip?
stuff in.
No, but there
Oh,
was there was
okay.
one scene that they
That's a great
cut
scene.
where you see some of them in the credits, where you're like, what's that right there?
Oh, sure.
That shit they cut. So there's one where Matt Dillon on the date with Cameron Diaz, he walks her to the door and he goes, can I touch your boobs? And she goes, okay. And it's just him squeezing her boobs. I'm like,
Really?
it falls
It's
so
just
flat.
Matt Dillon on the day, like, could I do a little improv in the scene? I'm gonna just improv something. Were you gonna yes and it, Cameron? Are you in?
Right. Right.
Yeah, it usually is that way, right? Whenever you watch the extended cut or something like that, and you're like, yeah, I see why. There's a reason this stuff made the
Well,
cutting room
Yeah.
floor.
whoever edited this, I'm like, they fucking knew what they were doing.
Yeah,
Right,
They
right.
found the good
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, I'm such a Seinfeld psycho nut that I have the DVD box set thing that came out, and they have all the deleted scenes, and they're all horrible.
Are
They're
they?
so bad? Which you're like, oh, it's weird seeing. You're like, oh, these guys are human.
Even the Seinfeld deleted scenes
Yes,
are bad.
it's-
And again, yeah, you're like, maybe we shouldn't put the deleted scenes out.
Right.
Just let
right.
it live beautifully.
I
don't
know.
As I say that, I'm like, there's a couple scenes in this movie and the last movie that I like wrote and produced. A couple of my favorite scenes that we ended up having to cut just for time, not because they weren't playing well or anything, but it was more just like story-wise, it didn't make sense. Like in this movie, we ended up cutting a scene with me and Danny Pudi that came at the end of the movie, and everybody loved it, and it had like a great joke in it, but it just didn't quite make sense. It just didn't make sense for the plot. Do you
It
know
was
what I mean? It was like
shoehorned in a
everybody
little bit?
a little bit, and it also was like too much. Yeah, I guess it was probably because once we wrote the role for Danny,
Mm-hmm.
and once we got him on board to do it, then of course we wanted to like add even more stuff for me
Yeah,
and Danny to do
yeah.
and have like a sweet moment between our characters. But like nothing's resolved yet in the movie, and you're like, why? They're like leaving down the hall so happy, and then in the next scene, she's really depressed. Like it just
Right.
didn't make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, that's tough though when you gotta cut
It's
a
some
good
of your
joke.
best stuff, and it's
Yeah.
tough for them too because then you have to be like, we cut the scene, and when we shot it, it felt so good, we all loved it.
Yeah.
It's hard to, but it's also nice. I think for me, it's nice being on the other side of the camera and realizing how little of that has to do with you, right? Whereas like early days acting, you're like, oh my God, they cut a lot of my scenes. I guess I suck.
Right.
You know, and now you're like, oh, it's not about me. There's so much other stuff going on.
Totally. But, you know, we're artists, so we still
And also,
take it personal.
because also sometimes it means like you're bad.
Yeah,
For sure.
Exactly. It goes both ways.
But the dramedy, the fact that it has to, I mean, if it was a pure comedy,
We would have left it in.
Right?
Yeah.
But, you know.
Right. Good point.
But it's also good to know when to pull back, right? Like you'd rather leave people wanting more than being like, that was a really long comedy. Right? Like,
I love a
don't
90-minute comedy.
I
Good
don't.
point.
Yes, we're clocking in at like an hour 45 with credits, which means it's actually like an hour 40, 41.
Sure.
I feel like over 2 hours for a comedy, I'm always a little bummed.
I agree because it tends to fizzle out.
I also feel like I'm that way
bang.
on the road. If I do like, I see comics will do like an hour 30 sometimes. I'm
Yeah,
like, that's
yeah.
a fucking lot to
Oh,
ask
yeah.
of an audience.
Wow.
And an opener and a host.
And an opener. I keep my show.
90 minutes
My
of
opener does
comedy.
25, and I'll do usually like an hour 5. I'm like, that's like a 90-minute show.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do a little more sometimes if I'm trying to work things in. But I do think like there's something to a tight show because you're asking a lot of a live audience.
Yeah, definitely.
To laugh over and over, that's a lot of energy.
I mean, I guess it depends how much stuff, if you're like working stuff out, if you're sharing personal stuff. I think about like Mark Maron. I feel like when he's on the road, sorry, I have a little mimosa burp. Excuse me.
Hey, you want another one?
Yeah, I'll go. I'll wrap. I'll do one more.
I'm okay for now.
No pressure.
Yeah.
There's Molly in this one.
Oh,
That
well, in that
helps.
case, anything could happen. I know I've seen Maron definitely live a few times and we worked together on Glow.
Right.
And I love his comedy. I'm really excited for his new special. And I
Looks
feel like
great.
It looks so
Yeah,
good.
that
And I feel
trailer
like
is awesome.
he
Oh,
will talk
really?
about doing 90 minutes on the road, but maybe no opener, you
Oh,
know.
yeah.
And Maron's style of comedy, because it's so personal and he's dipping into some serious stuff, I feel like that I'm more into the length is okay because it feels like you're watching like a one-man
Exactly.
Oh.
show.
Yes.
It's like the Berbiglia.
Exactly.
It's one step away from the.
It's
from
almost
the Berbiglia of it.
conversational. It's like we're all in this
Yeah.
together. It's interactive.
And each of the audiences maybe feel kind of special that they're like, ooh, I'm seeing some of the inner
Yes.
workings, and maybe not all of this is going to make this special, but I'm like
Exactly.
hearing the intimate stuff.
And his
Exactly.
style is very venti and you know, it's
Yeah.
like
Ranty.
I connect to it a lot. It's that like Jewy.
I love it.
Even though I still feels like a New Yorker to me, even though he's,
Oh yeah. Well, he cut his teeth here.
yeah.
He'll always be. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he grew up in Arizona.
He grew up in Arizona, but he's got family in Jersey.
Oh, there you go. That counts.
Yeah.
All
He
right.
has an East Coast vibe though.
He really
Yeah.
It's
does.
the pessimism,
Yeah.
Cynical,
cynical.
Yeah.
angry.
But his early stuff, his early album titles are so funny. They were all called like "Tickets Still Available,"
yeah.
or
Not sold out.
Not sold. They were all like the most negative.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't know that.
Do you do this? Is a dumb I'm not in Hollywood question. Is this a myth, or do you guys really do the focus group, like the what do you call
like
that?
to test the
a
movies.
test show? Yeah.
Yeah, we did a couple test screenings. Oh my God. Well, because of COVID, we shot this in 2021, so it was still sort of COVID-y stuff. And I guess we only did a couple test screenings for this movie. And the first one we did over Zoom. You guys.
Hate the Zoom.
Okay, Dave and I were separate from one another, so I was on location in Colombia for a shoot. Dave's in LA. The audience doesn't know that we're on the Zoom also watching.
Oh,
and everybody is logged into Zoom, so they're watching the movie on their computer. They like get prepped beforehand and they're asked like not to go to the bathroom, and so they have to really sit through the movie. And we're watching them watching on their computer. And it is the worst thing I have ever experienced in my goddamn life.
That's brutal.
Let me tell you, I've sat in on test screenings before. Here's how people watch a comedy in a test screening live in the theater. A joke happens and they go, and on a Zoom, a joke happens and they go,
we did Zoom shows. We know.
Oh, yeah.
right?
Nightmare.
There's like a nod. Maybe there's a nod. One woman like had a baby on her arm. It's like people look. It's not even saying anything about the movie. It's like the natural state of like, think of what you must look like when you're just like watching something on your computer, resting bitch face. Like you look bored.
Of course. And the pajamas, the double chin.
Oh my
they're
God.
eating.
They're eating.
I'd rather watch Jeffrey Toobin. Now, that's a Zoom.
For the first like 10 minutes of that, I was texting Dave. Oh, thank you. Just being like, this is the worst experience of my life. Like, why are we even doing this? And then I will say, also, you have pages and pages of Zoom people watching that you're scrolling through.
Oh, wow.
Eventually, we just had to hone in on a couple that were actually giving great reactions. You go like, go to page 5. There's a great woman in the upper left corner.
Jesus.
I know. And then we did one live screening in LA, but I couldn't be there. But Dave said he enjoyed it. And we actually did a little additional shoot after doing those screenings. So like they're helpful for sure.
All right.
I think for comedy it is
It's
essential.
brutal but helpful. It's nice to know what's even for the story, to kind of know what's tracking and if there's one thing that's not landing.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Like you want to
Yeah.
sink the landing at the end and like are people connecting in the right way for that? So like it was helpful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
well,
mean,
you
our
do-
whole job is
Our whole
focus
job
group.
is focus grouping. I mean, you think about the road, and when you see a comedy special and it's a little loose and disjointed, I always think, oh, that's a comic who didn't do the road,
Yes.
and then run it through the mud. So I'm a big
Yeah.
believer in focus grouping for.
Let's take
comedy.
the air out. Let's find those. Because also when you're sitting with an audience, you can tell when you feel uncomfortable that you're like, uh-oh, this is a moment we're taking too long, right?
Right.
It's lagging. Like I can read based on my own body chemistry that something is awry.
Yeah, that's what's great about being married is the sexual.
The body chemistry.
Well, the focus group has been done sexually.
Yeah.
So I know what not to do, what to do, and then you stop having sex. But you know,
Not me.
pull it up.
Yeah, there's something about those Zoom shows when we were doing during the pandemic. We'd have to do these shows on Zoom. They were the worst experiences because of what you were saying.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember one of them.
Feedback is nil.
They're type, but sometimes they would type feedback.
Oh,
so
God,
I'd be
so-
doing sets. One woman wrote, "This new stuff is just horrible," and then and I was like, "Well, I have to address that now." So I'm like going back. I'm like,
because
"Yeah,"
everyone can see it in the chat.
And then someone else is like, "Fuck you, bitch," and then they start going at each other, and I'm just
God.
like,
Getting heckled in a Zoom
Yeah.
chat
Yeah.
sounds terrible.
It's like performing on Reddit.
Yeah.
That's like what I felt like I was doing. It was awful.
At least you can hit mute, I guess, on the mean lady.
But then everybody else sees it.
Yeah,
you gotta address
good
it.
point.
No,
yeah.
she wasn't. She was typing it. She wasn't.
Oh,
Yeah, dude.
brutal. Sorry.
No,
that's
Also,
rough.
there's a delay, so it's like 3 jokes ago. You're like, oh, you didn't. Oh, I see, you didn't like that one.
Horrible experience. And there were those psycho comics who would say things like, "I actually like the Zoom shows," and I want to be like,
Crazy.
"Quit!
Yes, go do that then.
Be a Zoom comic."
Yeah.
Doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, and there's nothing worse than bombing in your home.
Yeah.
You know, you can bomb in a club, then go home and be like, "Ooh, that was rough." But now you're at home. Now you're in the same room
It
after
just
the computer
sullies
turns
your
off.
whole house.
Yes.
Has the bomb stink on it.
It does.
Exactly.
You have to find a new corner
Right.
to do your next set in on your next Zoom.
I got to change that background.
Yeah.
You know.
Do
bring a
you
new
think
lamp
you're going to
over here.
continue to make projects with your husband?
Definitely. It's honestly gone so well. We have, in fact, there's a couple things that we have in the works already that I won't say any more about.
All
but like
right.
we kind of started writing something recently and like signing on to another thing to do together. So yeah, we love it. Mostly, I mean, this sounds really corny, but mostly we just like being around each other. We've spent a lot of time as actors having to shoot things and be apart for months at a time, and that sucks. Like when we make stuff together, we bring our 2 cats. We're like our own little traveling circus. It's great.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
And if you're writing with someone you love and know, you can be honest. If you're writing with someone else, it's
Totally.
kind of like, oh, I hate that line, but I don't want to get friction.
I don't know. Actually, I feel kind of 2 ways about it because I've written 2 movies with Jeff Baina, who's another director so we've had the same dynamic of like I've written with him and then I star in the movie and he directs it, and we've actually made 4 films together. And I feel the opposite. Like, because he's a friend of mine, I'm more just like, we can be super blunt with each other about all this stuff. Like with my husband, I'm like, should we
interesting.
just in the way that we speak to each other about notes? Except Dave always knows because I'll be like, because why do I have to preface anything I don't like with like, honey, I love you. You're the love of my life. He's like, just say it. What didn't you like about it?
Right.
Sweetheart, love of my life. On page 47.
That is cool to have that, though. You just get to work together. That's another part of our life that, like, we're never home.
True.
It truly, makes a difference just to be together and be around each other. And I think also because we watch so much stuff together that we have the same tastes and sensibilities. Like, it's not often that we're disagreeing on story points or dialogue. It is funny. Every so often you'll get real, I don't know, one of us gets like really attached to a character, right?
Yeah,
and I'll get all fired up. She would never say that. He's like, calm down. That's fine. We can change it.
Still can't believe Dave wanted to cut that great Pootie joke. But, well, geez, we gotta wrap it up.
We're getting the signal.
Big Al, you're a mensch. This was great.
Oh,
Thank you.
This was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me.
And,
this was so fun.
Yeah, watch Alison's new movie, Someone That I Used to Know, on
Somebody I Used to Know.
I'm sorry, on Amazon. And it's really cool. I mean, and you're great. And
the acting's great. It's a great story. You're gonna love it. And,
full frontal plus Merkin. So check it out.
check it out, folks.
Awesome.
Thank you, and thanks for coming
guys.
in.
Thanks, you guys. This is great.
All right.
Are we? Mark, can you stop doing that for a sec? All right. I'll be in Mark came and I had to witness it. It sucked. Salt Lake City this week. There's a 6 show. It's pretty much, I think it's sold out, but it maybe not. I don't know. Whatever. Check it out. Atlantic City added a show. Huntington. We added a show in Royal Oak, Michigan, and Minneapolis. I hope you come out. Madison, Milwaukee, New Haven. Added a 5th at the Wilbur, so please check that out. That's coming. Miami Beach added a late show. Added a late show in Orlando. Added a late show in Ponte Vedra, whatever the hell that city is, near Jacksonville, I think. Atlanta, Charleston, Durham, Charlottesville, Norfolk, Washington, D.C., late show, Wilkes-Barre, and Port Chester. SamMorrell.com/shows.
Hey, we added a Friday show in Chicago at the Vic Theater for the special taping on March 17th. Come on out. We'll get as many sets as we can and film all of them. Spokane Comedy Club. Just running the shit out of this set. Skyline. We got 8 sold out there.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I'm going all in.
Appleton.
4:30 on Friday, then at 8, then at 10:30.
You're doing a hookie show.
Hook, yes, exactly. So come on out to that. The Funny Bone and who knows where. Toledo. Yeah, not bragging.
Ugh, one of those.
What else?
Toledo.
Dayton. Oof, really running it through the mud. Laugh it
They
up
got
at
great meth
Poughkeepsie.
in
Yeah,
Dayton.
that's true. That's
Get your
true.
meth. Great meth and barbecue.
Yeah.
Funny Bone in Perrysburg, Ohio.
I think that's kind of Toledo or Dayton. It's all the same. But, yeah. Levity Live, Oxnard, right outside L.A. So come on out, marknormancomedy.com. Get a bottle of Bodega Cat. Get a cup. Get a mug. Get a Stephanie. And
BodegaCatWhiskey.com, folks.
Can I plug the Matt Ruby special that I haven't done that?
Go for it.
It's called Substance. It's on Matt Ruby's YouTube page.
Yep.
We had Matt Ruby do 4 sets over 4 weeks. He does 4 different substances. He does 1 show high, 1 show drunk, 1 show on mushrooms, and then 1 show sober. And we documented the whole thing.
You cut out the part where he does 1 show on autoerotic asphyxiation?
No fentanyl?
So Matt Ruby on YouTube for that.
Check it out, folks. Stephanie, you want to tell the folks anything? What's your grinder?
It's public.
Yeah.
Stephanie D. Barney on Instagram if you feel like checking that out.
All right.
Stephanie, you're going to be involved more next week. This wasn't a fair audition shake because with Alison here, we'll do it for Neil.
Yes, for Neil.
Neil Brennan.
Yeah, he's worthless. All right. Thanks, folks. Comedy.
Sunday's the day for my next offender. A bit of Pivarek, you know the beer juice close. I've had a little too much bourbon, and Norman's talking shit about the fucking Pope. And I get down in the same way. Up on the roof like a cop's coming, and naked Samuel is feeling dangerous. I'm out to lunch here in New Orleans, doesn't look like I remember her. And I